And you're going to college, you're trying to make a life for yourselves and everything. You're trying to invest in your own education. All right, that's very important. And you got to think about your future. Think about the years to come, what you want to be when you grow up, and how you want to live when you grow up. I went to college and I wanted to live in a land that was economically free. I wanted a land that had lower taxes. I wanted to vote for candidates that wanted me to have lower taxes, not just for the rich, but just for the average American citizen who is middle class. You know, most of us, when we graduate from high school, we want to have a good job. Also, when we go to college, we also want to have a good job. The goal is to work. Why go to school and not desire to work? Why spend all that money and then want a socialist system which has you being dependent on the government for everything in every aspect of your life? Why not have a system where you can pick your own insurance, your own private insurance? You can actually get insurance across state lines. You can compete. That's what you really want. You don't want a land where everything is rationed, like in other countries, where surgeries are being uh, foregone because there's just not enough doctors, there's not enough coverage, there's not enough money to go around, because eventually you do run out of other people's money in socialism. It doesn't. Other countries in Europe and other places are trying to come to America because it is an economically free country. And all of a sudden, you go to school and you're a college professor who happens to be a socialist, who lives on the public dole, who lives like they are dependent on government, because they really are. They want you to live the same way. They teach you to be a socialist. They teach you to be dependent on government, like another plantation. That's people in colleges and universities need to wake up and revolt against those teachers and those faculty people. Think of it now. They're charging you thousands and thousands of dollars and of debt, student debt, and then many times you don't even graduate with a kind of degree that's going to get you a job. Many young people growing up and getting out of college, they learn the real world situations. It's not like what the panacea is, like the Marxist college professors did. Those college professors pretty much have a lot of the college students in many of our universities in a cult system where they're dependent on this tight-knit group to survive. And they say, oh, the world is horrible out there and you can't possibly survive. Of course you can. They say that America is evil and racist and things, and no one can get along with anybody. And the times of Obama was just perfect and peachy. But the reality is that Obama was a very divisive person. He was very divisive, and you all never heard that because the media would never present that truth. This is why Obama lost so many elections. This is exactly why when Obama was president, people, white, black, Asian, everybody, Latino, were very disappointed in his leadership because all he did was divide, divide, divide. But when you looked at the liberal media, they didn't tell you that at all because they were more interested in promoting this imagery of, great, we have a socialist leader in power. We have a person that we can just prop up and he'll do whatever we want him to do. So you never knew this. You never knew about the dysfunction that happened in government. You never knew about the difficult years of Obama, how taxes were being raised, how people were being manipulated to get insurance that they didn't really want, how he gave high-power rifles to the drug cartels that are still there with the drug cartels, wiping out many Latinos. Now they're trying to escape from some of that tyranny that Obama started. This condition of instability in other countries by giving high power rifles to the drug cartels. This is your Barack Obama. And now, those people, some of those people are coming to America now after creating all the instability, after partnering with drug cartels that are the primary reason why the Latinos and young people are being molested and kidnapped, and human trafficking is going on because of the Obama policies. And now, because of his open border policies, they want to bring caravans of people who are illegal aliens. Also, 80% of them, many of which are actually those who are men, not women and children, but men, young men coming into this country. But why don't people come legally? You see, because what's happened is that the Democrat Party is a lawless party. And this is the kind of country that you're going to inherit, college students. When you get out of school, you got to think about what kind of country are you going to inherit? a country that doesn't know what it is, a country that's full of hate, in which you hate your own country. That's real hate right there. Doesn't matter what race you are. When you hate your own country, there's no chance for your country. If the college professor can get you to hate yourself, hate your own country, what what else do they need to do? You're going to destroy your own country. That's all the goal is for the Marxist professors. They are the useful idiots of globalism, global socialism, which is basically Russia. We want to do whatever you want us to do. Yeah, you want us to destroy ourselves, want us to hate ourselves? Sure, we'll do that. That's all they're doing. What kind of country or what kind of teacher will teach you to hate your own family, teach you to hate other people? It's a mob mentality, just like the Democrats did when they put blacks onto they strung us up in various forms of lynchings and things. They're a mob. This is how they think. This is how the left thinks. They think in a mob. Is that the kind of life that you want to live? Young person going to college, is that the kind of country you want to inherit? No. So you need to revolt against your teacher. Don't vote like they want you to vote. Vote how you want your nation. You want a country full of high taxes? You want a country where you're coerced to do just about everything the government wants you to do? You want to lose your personal rights? You want to lose your freedom of speech? That's the Democrat way. The Democrat Party, that's what socialism is. Look at your history, young person. Do you want a Hitler situation? Everyone's talking about Trump being like Hitler, but he has nothing. He is nothing at all like Hitler. Mein Kampf, the writings of Hitler were read in Chicago, and all the liberal students in Chicago area and all throughout the area were clapping and cheering for Mein Kampf. Hitler's writings, that's socialism. That's your liberal policies. That's actually what Hitler was talking about. Government control of healthcare, government control of every aspect of your life. And many of you all were clapping for it. If you read Mein Kampf, you'd be ashamed at how similar the Democrat Party is to Nazism. And all the Democrats have ever was project their own moral dysfunctions on their rivals, on Republicans, on conservatives. That's what they do. It's called psychological projection. Just look it up. They will actually blame other people for the very things that they themselves have been doing. And so you have to be smart enough. You have to be smart enough to say, I'm not going to listen to my college professor. I mean, this guy's dependent on me. I'm funding this guy, this college professor or this lady, and she's telling me to hate my own country and hate my parents and defect and say that other nations, all the socialist countries are better. Well, open your eyes. And this doesn't just go to the Wisconsin college students. I'm talking to every single college student in America. Open your eyes. You're being motivated to hate. Think with your emotions, and then motivate your thoughts, so that you're not able to reason properly. You're just full of emotion and full of hate and protesting and mob, because like a cult, they've swept you up in this mindless panorama of deception and emotional dysfunction while they pump your veins with drugs and promote marijuana addiction in your face, making you even more paranoid and everything else. And look at Alec Baldwin now, the guy who portrayed Trump. This guy now was guilty. He's put in a jail cell right now because he's punching somebody. And yet this Alec Baldwin, all the liberals were saying, oh, Trump is full of hate. Well, you see what's really happening here. This guy was talking about Trump wanting to punch people. He's punching people. He's projecting his own hatred. What people see about Trump is actually through Alec Baldwin, a comic, a comedian, an actor. They're looking at Alec Baldwin. Oh, this must be what Trump is like. And you mindlessly believe Saturday Night Live as if it's news. And it's not news. It is a spoof. But now look at your spoof has become reality. And you realize that the anti-Trump person named Alec Baldwin who played Trump was actually the hater. And I've come to the conclusion, young person, that as long as they can get you to hate, you'll never want to work across the aisles. You'll never want to work with solutions and find solutions. And I encourage you, college students, to vote Republican, because you see where the Democrat Party is taking you. My family was always Democrat all the time. All the days of Jesse Jackson promoting Democrat, Democrat. And they told me to rock the vote when I was coming out of high school and rock the vote when I was in college and stuff. And I realized that the Democrat Party was a fraud, many of which. And they always divided people by race. If you want a racially divided country, then you want to vote Democrat then, because they're the party who are the experts in racism. Okay, so I want you to think, if you want to see change in your country, you're going to want to see a land where there's economic freedom.